Smoothies and store-bought flavored yogurts are often perceived as wholesome, convenient options for breakfast or snacks, yet their sugar content can be alarmingly high, creating a hidden but powerful threat to liver health. Many commercially prepared smoothies and yogurts contain not only naturally occurring sugars from fruit and milk, but also added sweeteners such as high-fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, or fruit concentrates. In some cases, a single 12 to 16-ounce smoothie or a cup of flavored yogurt can contain 30 to 40 grams of sugar, roughly equivalent to a can of soda. Regular consumption of these beverages exposes the liver to repeated fructose surges, which can overwhelm hepatic metabolic pathways and drive fat accumulation, oxidative stress, and early stages of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD. The liver processes fructose differently than glucose, metabolizing it almost exclusively in hepatocytes. When fructose intake exceeds the liver's immediate energy needs, it is converted into triglycerides through a process called de novo lipogenesis. This conversion is highly efficient, meaning that even moderate servings of high-sugar smoothies or yogurts can rapidly increase hepatic fat deposition. The resulting accumulation of fat in liver cells triggers low-grade inflammation and oxidative stress, impairing mitochondrial function and reducing the liver's ability to metabolize additional lipids. Over time, these repeated metabolic insults contribute to the silent progression of NAFLD, which can eventually advance to steatohepatitis, fibrosis, and in severe cases, cirrhosis. The problem is compounded by the perception that smoothies and yogurts are inherently healthy. Many consumers assume that the presence of fruit, probiotics, or dairy negates the risks associated with added sugars. However, the metabolic impact of fructose is largely independent of the food matrix in liquid or semi-liquid forms because the sugars are rapidly absorbed, bypassing the moderating effects of fiber present in whole fruits. In smoothies where whole fruits are blended and fiber is partially broken down, sugar absorption is even faster, leading to rapid blood glucose and insulin spikes, which further drive triglyceride synthesis and hepatic fat accumulation. Similarly, flavored yogurts often contain concentrated sweeteners that add a substantial fructose load on top of naturally occurring lactose, compounding the metabolic stress on the liver. The cumulative effects are particularly concerning for adolescents and young adults, who are among the highest consumers of smoothies and flavored yogurts marketed as health foods. Early life exposure to high-fructose beverages can alter metabolic programming, increasing susceptibility to insulin resistance, visceral fat accumulation, and early-onset NAFLD. Because early hepatic fat deposition is typically asymptomatic, many individuals may unknowingly be placing their livers under continuous stress. Even when these products are consumed in moderate amounts, habitual intake over weeks, months, and years can establish a metabolic pattern that promotes long-term liver injury. Beyond hepatic fat accumulation, frequent consumption of high-sugar smoothies and yogurts can exacerbate systemic metabolic dysfunction. Repeated fructose surges increase triglycerides in the bloodstream, raise uric acid levels, and promote oxidative stress not only in the liver, but throughout the body. Insulin resistance develops in parallel, which further impairs hepatic lipid metabolism and amplifies inflammatory signaling. This creates a vicious cycle. The more sugar consumed in liquid or semi-liquid forms, the more the liver struggles to metabolize fat and maintain systemic metabolic balance. Even attempts to balance these beverages with protein or vegetables often fall short if the sugar content remains high. While fiber, protein, and micronutrients can modulate absorption and blunt postprandial glucose spikes, the overwhelming fructose load in many store-bought smoothies and flavored yogurts can override these protective mechanisms. The liver ends up in a constant state of metabolic overload, silently accumulating fat, producing inflammatory mediators, and gradually losing its capacity to handle additional toxins or lipids. The safest approach for liver protection is to prioritize whole, minimally processed foods and beverages. Smoothies made from intact fruits and vegetables, with minimal or no added sweeteners, retain fiber that slows sugar absorption and reduces the hepatic load of fructose. Unsweetened yogurts, ideally plain or lightly fermented, provide protein and probiotics without delivering excessive sugar. Water, herbal teas, or homemade smoothies with careful attention to sugar content allow the liver to function without repeated metabolic stress. In summary, commercially prepared smoothies and flavored yogurts, despite their marketing as healthy, can deliver sugar loads comparable to sodas, triggering rapid hepatic fat production and promoting early-stage NAFLD. Repeated consumption exposes the liver to continuous fructose surges, oxidative stress, and inflammatory signaling, silently increasing the risk of chronic liver disease. Awareness of sugar content, skepticism toward health claims, and prioritization of whole, fiber-rich alternatives are essential strategies for preventing the liver from succumbing to this hidden dietary threat.